All right, I think we are good. Stream set up, everything looks good. So just so you know, when we go live, they can't hear me. You guys will be able to hear me, but they will not be able to hear me. We'll pause at like 12 seconds is normally what we do. So like when the game starts. No, they can only hear me.
All right. Welcome to the first game of Olympian League on Titan Esports Season 4. Your casters tonight are going to be Kappa Crusader and myself.
Hello, hello.
And then the lovely teams we have playing for us today are Fried Chicken Esports and Chaos.
Yeah, me and you did our power rankings for Olympian together. This is our last place team in Chaos versus the only team we couldn't rank, Fried Chicken Esports, due to, at the time, them not having a full roster.
Or rather, us not being able to see the full roster.
True. We see a Nautilus ban and Earth. That Earth is supposed to be a set with a Victor ban coming out last.
With Morgana, Katarina, and something within the next 30 seconds from Fried Chicken Esports.
Now, these don't look... I'd have to say the Victor looks like a target ban at probably Earl King. I'm not sure about the set and the Nautilus, though.
If I had to assume, it's top support and then Earl King.
So just getting a blanket of bans out first, not really focusing one person.
But I get it.
And that looks to be the way with the other team, with the Ezreal coming out on the other side as well.
The dawn has arrived.
Leona gets first picked. That's fair. I would say she is pick and ban currently with how supports all line up. Now let's see what Fried Chicken goes with to counter.
By my will.
So they're gonna first grab the Jarvan
Time to make an impact.
and the Galio. So they're looking for more of a really engagey press R at the moment.
I mean, J4 Galio is personally my favorite combo. We see Lissandra picked up by Chaos along with the Zac. This is going to be one brutally team fighty back and forth game. Thus, just by looking at the comps thus far.
Right now, Chaos has a really good opportunity to do picks and skirmishes too.
Yeah, that Lissandra ult stacked on top of that Leona ult. They have a really good CC chain.
Started with the Zaki. And let's see what the first or the last pick of the first round is going to be for Fried Chicken Esports.
Let's dance.
So they're going to pick their cons. So they're going to keep just they're going to look for a full engage.
And they are looking to go all in on one big fight. Taking out the Lucian, banning that.
Taking the Xayah off the table for her lover.
So this is Earl King's return to Titan Esports, correct?
It is his return to Titan Esports. I can't say I was graced with watching him the first time around, even though he was a part of my org.
You wouldn't last a day in the
Kaisa, the last ban for Fried Chicken Esports is Kaisa.
And then for Chaos, we have... If we follow the trend in 80k.
Alright, looks like they're just both sides are pinching a pool for 80k. Most likely trying to put them on discomfort. You know, not exactly something they're super practiced with.
Impure fools.
And it'll be the Vayne.
Alright. Yeah, as we were saying, this is Earl King's return. And I know Tony Top on Chaos has been around the server a couple times. Didn't get to play an Olympian last split. Didn't get picked up by a team.
Mm-hmm.
I know he does play for Natural Selection Gaming Amethyst in Blue Otter League, however.
Okay.
Wow.
I believe...
Would you like to see to round off this Fried Chicken Esports comp? This big all-in.
I'm on the case.
So Caitlyn works out pretty well, but it's kind of a pivot.
Don't you trust me?
So instead of it being like Xayah or Vayne, where they want to just keep walking forward and then they have a safety button, they've got some range on it. So Skarner's going to be able to get into that backline. So if they go into that backline, they can just steal the Caitlyn away. They're just going to look to dive with that. Ashe is going to help with that pick comp they're setting up.
Yeah, thus far, I'd have to say, barring the last pick from Fried Chicken Esports, thus far, I do kind of like Chaos's comp just a little bit more than the Jarvan Galio. You have a lot of disengage / re-engage with the Ashe and the Lissandra. And we see Urgot picked up last for Fried Chicken Esports.
I personally like Fried Chicken's comp just a little bit better, but maybe I'm just biased against Skarner or Zach Top.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Those are two different two different junglers. One's gonna have to go towards top. One's gonna have to go towards bot.
And then with this draft being done, it looks like we're gonna get ourselves readied up into the game. So what are the things you want to see for Chaos to prove us wrong and get out of last place? Do you think they have to win the game?
See, I personally, with my power rankings, I try to not go off of just wins and losses. They can move up easily if they show that they can definitely thrive in this type of competitive environment.
Okay.
That being said, I do think Fried Chicken Esports will move up the rankings a lot faster than Chaos, but you know, it all comes down to results and stats and everything else, you know?
For sure.
Numbers and results matter more than opinion. See currently all the bans just coming through in the client.
Mm-hmm. So it looks like that Zach is actually gonna go top.
Ooh. Now I know Urgot's Fear Beyond Death is an execute, but does that
No, it would trigger the passive.
Yeah, so I'd say that's a really strong pick into the Zach.
Yeah,
J4 should look to absolutely camp that lane, in my opinion.
So I think it's hard to camp that lane for this fact that, like, on the 2v2, they pick the Jarvan out on that, and while if Urgot goes and takes one of them out, like, even with the passive, or they just get out because they've got a lot of CC if they take the 2v2 on that.
Yeah, I mean, that's good. That's completely fair. Now, so then what do you think the Jarvan should be doing? I know you play a lot of Jarvan yourself. How do you feel like that team wins if you were to play J4?
I mean, in my personal opinion, they should 4-man buy. Because they've got the Galio out, they've got the Jarvan to rotate. They should have the Dragon control at all times. Ashe, after she uses her ult, Leona only wants to go in, so she just stands still and she's susceptible to.
Okay, yeah. Now, that being said, how do you also think Chaos's comp has to work in order for them?
The Zach makes it complicated, but they really just have to play picks. They don't want a full team fight unless they're really ahead. And even then, it's kind of sketchy for the sheer fact of, like, Urgot's ultimate, and then Rakan's ultimate, or even Galio's ultimate, has a lot of disruption for their team fight.
So would you say they should look to start the fight, get the Galio and the Rakan to blow their ultimates, hopefully live through that, and then look to re-engage?
Personal opinion, I don't think they should team fight at all. They should just look for picks and rotations.
Fair.
Just because, like, while Zach will get big later on in that, like, mid-game team fight, he's not going to do anything but go forward.
Right. Well.
And the other thing you have to look at with it being a Zac and a Skarner is that, like, the only damage output they have is Lissandra and Ashe, and Lissandra is almost all burst. So if Ashe goes down, that's almost all their consistent damage, unless Skarner goes a more damaged build here, but I don't really feel like he has the luxury.
Now, with Skarner, do we think it's... I know the most common rune to take is, I believe, Aftershock at the moment, though I know Predator finds its way in.
The three paths that are usually most popular are Conquer, Predator, Aftershock. I would say Predator or Conquer would be acceptable here. So Predator if they're going to go for, like, the hard ganking. And then Conquer if they're going to look to try to, like, trade with the Jarvan in the jungle. But even then, like, it's a really hard sell for me. Just because their team feels like they rotate just as well, but they have a lot more front-loaded damage.
Yeah, I'm going to be putting a lot of attention... I'm going to be looking down at the minimap and paying a lot of attention in mid lane so we can see when that Galio decides to to roam out, whether it be to help his jungler or to try and land an alt bot side.
Mm-hmm. And it feels like they should have any control of any river fights they do, because while they'll have while on the side of Chaos they'll have Leona ult and they'll have Lissandra ult, or even Ashe ult for like catching somebody out and trying to blow them up, like one Rakan ult around that and followed up by a Galio ult just kind of like stops the pick out.
Yeah, there's just I'm really excited to watch these big fights. Hoping everybody you can keep up with it. That being said,
For sure. And also with that all being said, I really want Chaos to prove me wrong here. I want to see where that's just me having my suspicions towards it of just I feel like they're very committed to never grouping up because they're always going to be weaker on the group up because the other team just has so much more AoE damage.
yeah, I mean it definitely it definitely would make it a lot harder for Fried Chicken Esports to pull off the comp that they have. Though I want to root for Chaos just because it's the underdog, but I am highly suspecting that Fried Chicken Esports is going to come out on top.
Yeah, compositionally wise, I think it's the better well-rounded composition, but at the end of the day, these all come down to execution.
Oh, 100%. Now, I'm going to go take a quick peek at op.gg's just to see if there's any comfort picks going on here.
Okay.
Let's look at Earl King.
Give me
Also, if Earl King is not using Birdio, I
We'll be
don't know
heavily
what else to
disappointed.
say.
Yeah, give me 1 moment.
Go into loading screen. Looks like Earl King has been playing it in Clash.
Alright, I am back.
Welcome back.
Thank you. Sorry.
There it is, Birdio.
Yes. Now, do you think he picked that so they could run this comp, or do you think he picked that so that the first game they ever played, they had their mascot in it?
Well, I was looking at the op.gg's, just a little sneak peek, and he has been playing a lot of Galio. Or at least he played it in yesterday, 2 out of the 3 games in Clash, and he did fairly well. So this is they've been running J4 Galio. Definitely looks intimidating.
But it's not Kiana Jarvan.
It's not Kiana Jarvan. It's not the Syndicate T2 special.
Former special.
Former T2 special. I would like to point out, though, we do see Phase Rush on Skarner instead of Conqueror or Predator. That Skarner is going to go to really fast.
That's also viable. That's kind of an in-between for between like Conquer and Pred on it, of just like it gives them a halfway between the two. It gives him a combat stun, but it also gives him some speed, so his ganks won't be as potent, but like he'll be able to do skirmishes a little better.
Yeah, we also see Urgot with Press the Attack instead of Conqueror as well. And other than that, the runes look pretty standard by everybody else, the runes and summoners.
And then production, we are still just on the client screen.
It was pause at 3, correct? Or
12
pause at 12?
seconds.
12. Okay.
Okay. All right, I am paused.
Oh, I went a little ahead on accident. Let me move back. And 12. Okay. right.
And here we go.
Are we going to see a standard 5-point? Or are we going to see them fight over the spires?
It does look like both teams are going for a more traditional 5-point setting on it. Though Chaos is going to send their jungler towards the spire rather than in the mid.
He's definitely been spotted out, though. At least, I believe he was spotted out by that Galio.
He
See a
should have.
bunch of pinging for bot side going towards that spire, but they're not moving.
So it does look like Fried Chicken Esports is going to contest the top side spire as well as the bottom side spire right now, and Chaos is just going to let them get away with it, it's looking like.
I know the spires give gold. I don't remember how much off the top of my head.
15 or 5, it's one of the two.
Small little start for to line their pockets with.
All right, it does look like both junglers are going to start bottom side of the map.
Another question going to be, are we going to see the J4 go for the level 2 gank?
We shall see. So if you were this Jarvan, where are you going to level 2 gank, Kappa?
I'd look bot. Once those flashes are gone, it looks kind of immobile to me.
Okay.
Though, does not look like it.
It does look like both junglers are going to go towards just clearing towards a gank. Though Skarner went to Wolves rather than right to his blue buff. We've got some trading going on in the bot lane here, as well as in the mid. And Fried Chicken Esports are winning out in both of these early trades.
That was a wonderful Galio trade. Taunt into Q, into
passive.
Justice Smash. Ouch. Level 2 all in.
Both junglers have made it to their buffs on the other side, but there is a trade going on in the bottom lane. They are going to get some good damage off on the side of Fried Chicken Esports, and Chaos is just going to walk away. Jarvan looked like he was proning from mid lane, but Lissandra backed off.
Yeah, Orkling's playing pretty far up. No, I don't think he's really too scared of the Skarner.
Yeah, I think their early lanes are really strong in the favor of Fried Chicken Esports, so they can just take this priority, especially if they have an idea that their junglers are in the quads. And we've got a trade going on in mid along with the gank, and is it going to be first blood? No, that Lissandra is going to... Oh, she got ticked down with a red buff.
Oof.
Meanwhile, there was a trade going down in the bottom lane, and it looks like they've got Chaos living under their towers at the moment. Skarner's going to attempt something on this Urgot here with the Zac follow-up. It's going to blow the flash, and it looks like he might just walk away.
Oh.
Zac Q's going to grab him, and he gets out. Skarner's going to take a tower shot, and Urgot's actually going to net a kill on that for them pushing a little too far.
Oh no, Skarner! A little too aggro there, buddy. Just a little too deep.
And then looking at CS differences, both mid and ADC are up about 10 CS on their respective opponents at the current time. Jungler is about 9-8 up on his respective opponent.
Would appear you and me are a little out of sync. I'm going to...
That might just be my fault. Are you on 20? 424, 425.
About... Yeah, okay, I fixed it. My apologies.
I'm good.
Yeah, 38, 39.
40, 41, 42, 43. Okay.
I prematurely hit the button. That's my apologies.
I think I hit it too late. Either way. All right, and then the bottom lane is going to grab a tower plate or two down here right before Dragon spawns. So that Dragon is on the map. Chaos's jungler, it looks like they are hovering that side of the map while Jarvan is on their Raptors. Top has full priority as well as mid and bottom. It does look like Fried Chicken Esports ADC is going to go on a reset right now. As well as their support. But they don't really look like they're too concerned about taking the dragon immediately. It almost looks like they might look to go for something up here in the top lane.
Yeah, we see Skarner rushing over. I think he thought they were on it, with the Rakan moving up.
It looks like we might get a gank and a counter gank going off here in the mid lane in just a moment. And Fried Chicken Esports looks like they're turning this around.
And Skarner falls.
With their jungler down, Fried Chicken Esports has full priority on the dragon right now, so they're just going to take it and leave Caitlyn to farm that stacked wave she's got down bottom, and there's not really any way they can contest it here. Meanwhile, top lane is still kind of just Urgot's lane to run until there's some kind of gank assist, but I'm not sure he'll come back up there after the last time.
Well, if he does the Dark Souls approach, just throw his body at it until it falls, he may find something, or he may just dig a further ditch.
We shall see. It's going to be a really hard lane for them to gank, especially with the Zac that low, while Urgot has ult up, because Skarner right now is only on the additional smite item and boots, so he's not really going to have anything additional. So he'll get burst through really quick, and it looks like they're going to go for the Wombo in the mid lane. He's going to blow Lissandra ult out. Galio got pretty low from that, but everybody just walks away.
Ouch. Lissandra has to back, and
As does the Galio.
yeah. So what if you were on the side of Chaos with their being as behind as their jungler is, what would be your thought process as to your way back in?
Take the little Sandra, next time the Galio backs, 3-man roam top, take him down, take tower plates, look around the Herald timer so you can take an objective from them.
Alright, yeah, I mean, now the question is are they going to do that?
I'm not sure she really has the freedom, because they almost have to force the Galio to either back, or they just have to trade tower plates from it. But the other caveat to that is that if Jarvan shows up, or Galio gets the time to roam up in river and blow ultimate, that it could be so easily turned. Like, it's one of those scenarios where everything kind of has to go right. The other option is they also can do a 4-man roam bottom, but it looks like Galio got that taunt, got the Justice Punch off, and he's gonna greed under tower a little bit for it. There's a teleport coming in from the Zac. I'm not sure I agree quite with this teleport play. It seems a little bit ambitious on my end, but they're gonna farm right now. Both junglers look like they're proning to the mid lane, but Jarvan's gonna get there first. He's gonna blow that passive. Lissandra is still here. Rakan's gonna walk up, and they're just gonna secure that Zac kill.
Lissandra, don't stay! No!
Lissandra stayed with real low health there.
No! And J4 going over to steal blue buff.
Yeah, J4 owns pretty much that top quad now. He can clear all those camps really safely, having the Prio and his mid laner with him right there. Take Crab, take Herald, and just kind of, like, live his life. Interesting. They're not actually going to try and force the Herald or the Scuttle Crab there. Alright. Looks like they're going to try and actually catch that Zac out as he comes back to lane. Oh, and Urgot ult narrowly missing for the execute, but are they going to let him live? No, they are not. Alright. Fried Chicken
Things looked a little awkward there for a second.
Their mid and jungle synergy is just killing it right now as they roam up and down the map.
Now, I want to see that Herald get taken.
Skarner looks like he's trying to take the Scuttle Crab for some vision priority here at the moment. But I don't think they can't do it safely, but if there was a time to force the Herald, this would be it. But it looks like it's going to go to his Gromp instead. And then there's an engage from the Rakan out in the bottom lane, but they are just going to walk away from it. They got a good amount of damage off on that Ashe, who also is out of mana, so that should be free trading, as well as they're a kill in the mid lane. And that was a clean Galio combo. Earl King representing their mascot very well here.
Fried Chicken Esports. Earl King is running away with this mid lane matchup. 30 CS ahead, 4 kills up. 36 CS exactly. It's only a matter.
I mean, not only Earl King though, but top lane, ADC, and mid have that advantage. And after getting another successful dive off with it, it looks like they're gonna break first tower there, and they might just rotate back to Dragon on that. As well as they're gonna get the Urgot ult off top, take down the Zac, and that might be top tower.
Fear beyond death. Dragging Zac back in. Oh my.
That Galio tried to go for a round 2 with that combo, but that Lissandra narrowly lives from it. So that is first tower falling in the bot lane. Urgot only managed to get 1 plate off his push, but they are trying to force a drag right now. It looks like Skarner is trying to steal. Will he be able to? He flashes just too late and goes into the pit to die. Leona comes with him. Oh, maybe. Oh. It looks like they might actually turn this here.
Oh, TP coming in.
Okay, that is a flash off Jarvan. That is a TP from Urgot and an ult from Galio, and they are gonna secure it all.
Oh my.
Reasonably, I feel like instead of recalling here, they should all just force this mid lane tower, but I suppose the solo laners are enough to do that.
Yeah, they
aren't really contested.
It's shopping time, baby.
Now the only thing on the map for them to take is that top tower and that Rift Herald, and it seems like they're just walking right towards it like they own it.
Yeah, as what Head over there said in the chat, they are sticking to this style of heavy team fight. It's working out great for them. I really don't see too many. They may have popped just a little too much on that dragon fight, but it's just...
I think they were just as surprised as we were with that turnaround of damage for their moment. The hard part is, it's really hard to say that there's a way back in this for Chaos, because outside of the Ashe, they don't really have anything that scales outside of just, like, getting thicker. But there's a lot of damage coming out on the side of Fried Chicken Esports, and with them so ahead, they should just be able to shred through all their tank stats.
In the blink of an eye, Zac passive is popped.
Zac passive does go down, and Lissandra, Skarner, and Leona are going to try and hold this tower, but at this point, I feel like they should just give this tower and try to look somewhere else on the map with it, because they're just sitting there waiting to be picked off. And they force the Jarvan ult, force the Urgot ult, they all go in. Chaos does pick up their first and... Oh, they're not going to pick up a second kill on that, but they do pick up their first kill of the game. It does go on the Lissandra.
That's... Wow.
And
so
then
the
Galio...
game from Fried Chicken Esports.
They attempted to live the dream, but sadly, I still can claim having the only perfect game with Titan.
Yeah. Now, we also see this Magi Soul Stealer coming in from Galio. That is a challenge. That is saying, come take me down. Get rid of those stacks.
I think he's in a place where he can do that. I'm not sure it's even like BM at this point. Like he's in a 9-0-1 lead. He's double the CS of his enemy laner. Like at that point, it would just be weird if he didn't have one.
Yeah, we see I believe that is About 13, 14k gold difference. I just... You gotta feel a little bit for Chaos, you know?
For sure. And then the other thing to think about is that this is the first game of the season. So even if they're going to have a bit of a rough spout too, they, after seeing the full rosters, went against one of the more difficult teams in the league for them, because at the moment it is looking like there is a gap between half the teams. So Sandra's gonna go down to Urgot ult there, and then Chaos is just looking for a way to scrape back into this game. Trying to still make plays on the map.
They're just going out too far. They're going out too far. They have to drop the line of scrimmage somewhere, and, well, that Chief wasn't it.
Honestly, if I'm... in my opinion at this point, I believe that they have to... They just kind of have to think about the next game, just because a 20-kill lead with 2 dragons, a herald, and 4.5 towers on them. The best thing for them to do is try to figure out their game plan for next time, try and figure out any patterns or anything they noticed on the enemy team, because there really isn't a way for them to come back. They don't have any hard scalers.
Another big fight breaking out. The Fear Beyond Death comes out, and Lysandra gets inside Urgot's belly.
Yeah, Chaos drafted this really hard pick comp, and it just doesn't feel like they've stuck to it. It feels like they've just kind of played their lanes out. They've played it like it's a standard thing. I really feel like they should have roamed the solo laners really hard.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing it's the best 2 of 3.
It does appear that blue team has surrendered.
Now that's the first time I've seen that in Titan. My oh my.
There were some surrenders last time in Olympian.
Well, I'll be honest, last time I did not pay too much attention to Olympian. This is my first rodeo. But my oh my.
And it does appear like I have a question from one of the teams. Let me be right back with you, Keppa. I have to go answer that for them.
Let's look at those damage graphs. Earl King at 14,905. My oh my. Oh, hello.
Alright. Oh. Were we good? Were we in trouble?
Certain. Quirky hopped in for a moment.
Your MVP for that game. Why
I
is
would
it
have
Earl
to
King?
say Earl King, yeah.
Your MVP for that game. Why is it Earl King? Hello? Alrighty. So welcome back to Game 2 of Fried Chicken Esports vs. Chaos in Week 1. And right now it is looking like they've got that same set of bans on the side of Fried Chicken Esports, and then they've grabbed the Zach from Chaos this time, and in response, Chaos has grabbed Heckram and Thresh, banning out that Jarvan, that Urgot, and then locking Aurelia out of the game as well.
All right. Hopefully my mic is working. Major, can you hear me?
You are good.
Awesome. So yeah, for everyone, quick update. Kappa has been taken from the caster's desk and is now going to be starting for Chaos here for their support. Their previous support had some internet issues. Their ping was pretty high, so they were not able to play Game 2 here.
For clarification, he's not starting. He is e-subbing.
Correct. He is not a starter. He is just e-subbing here in emergencies. The other captain has agreed to it, so that is why we're allowing it.
And back on our draft, we've got Blitzcrank and Varus on the side of Fried Chicken Esports. It looks like this time they're going for that pick-out comp.
Everybody dies.
Let's see what Chaos rounds out their round 1 with. Lucian.
Yeah, the Zac flex as well. Could go jungle, could go top as we saw last game. I think it's more popular, obviously, in the jungle. There was a patch, like a couple patches ago, where it's popular top, but not as much now.
True, but I think you run into that same problem that you had the last game of it doesn't really provide additional damage, so they would really have to bring something to synergize well in the jungle that almost has carry potential.
Yeah.
I'll come back stronger.
So they're going to ban out that Lysandra on the side of Fried Chicken Esports again, and then Chaos is going to take the Set and the Galio away from them.
Yeah, Galio's a smart ban there, kind of with the Zac, and set things up a little bit, but not going to be happening this game.
Yeah, the only thing about the Galio ban there is that it kind of goes against what their current comp is. Like, it can still be used as a form of disengage or even, like, go in, but it looks like they're trying to go towards a pick comp at the moment.
Yeah, like, I really Zoe, one of the safer mid laners to be blind pick.
Mm-hmm. That gives them a way of that would have given them a way of sitting back and avoiding some of their poke.
You may now appreciate me.
And Kiana.
They're going to bring the Kiana out in the mid lane. Okay, so look, with this comp, it looks like they're going for a much more team fight oriented draft than in the last time. Whereas Fried Chicken Esports almost look like they're going for more of the pick comp, and let's see if they stick on theme with that or if they're going to try to pivot.
Yeah, and Mordekaiser comes out, so we're pretty much certain this is going to be Zac jungle, Mordekaiser top lane. I mean, they could still flex it mid, technically, but probably...
Titan Olympian is known for their moored mids, and I feel like we're about to get it here.
It's going to be Garen top, Mordekaiser mid.
So let's see what they're going to respond to that Garen with, or if they're going to assume that it's the Mordekaiser, because both of them could flex to the mid lane, as in recent history.
Let us hunt those who have fallen to darkness.
And Vayne top lane.
They're going to take the Vayne top into it. I like Vayne top into the Garen. There's still the potential for it to get shut down. I don't like it as much for the Mord, since he has a way of like pulling her in.
Agreed, yeah. I think against Garen top lane, it would be a favorable matchup. You're right, if it's Mordekaiser and they try and swap those lanes, not as favorable of a matchup. I think Chaos has a lot of like early game tools they could use, like the Lucian. If you can get a few kills early game, he can be very powerful going in the mid game. Same for Kiana. So I like that they have a little bit more tools in the early game here they can use.
Yeah, they've got a lot more team fight potential. I don't know that I love the Vayne here, just because it feels like it takes away from what could have been a really good frontliner or a good engager for them.
Agreed with you. Yeah, it's not really something that's strong early game. Kind of wants to scale up a little bit, which is going against what the rest of their comp's trying to do.
Yeah,
it does give them a little bit of a late game insurance policy if it gets to that point. But as we saw last game, Fried Chicken has a really good early game.
Mm-hmm. And something like this, that Thresh has to be on point. And considering they have the Thresh as the E-sub, and he's really the only thing that protects their backline, Kiana and Hecarim just want to go all the way in, while Lucian and Vayne still have to dance at like the edge of danger. It's pretty risky comp, especially considering how the last game went.
Yeah, I like the Mordekaiser pick here. It's kind of like you have to pay the QSS tax, or it could be troublesome for their two carries as well.
Yeah, doing the Mordekaiser and the Garen, gives them still that good potential for a pick comp off the other three champions, or even just with Mordekaiser's ult, but it also gives them a really solid team fight in frontline. Because even if Varus dies, the two of them put out a lot of damage just on their own.
I'd like to see Chaos try and figure out how to open up the mid lane a little bit more here and let their mid laner kind of shine. Like I feel like last game, Fried Chicken was just immediately like, okay, their mid laner is the one that wants to carry their team. Like let's just make it so she can't play the game at all, and that's pretty much what happened. Like they just ganked her repeatedly on Flash. Like she didn't really get to play much League of Legends last game, so I'm hoping they'll be able to put some more resources in the mid lane and kind of make it so she can get out of laning phase a little bit safer.
Yeah. The hardest part is just like, as a Kiana, aside from using your Q, walking up to hit the minions in melee versus Mord or Garen is really hard. They can zone you very hard with just their Qs. So it does actually look like it is going to be Earl King on that Garen in the mid lane. So Garen being in the mid lane, the other thing about that is he roam with his Q. He's going to roam with that Kiana really well. He's going to stick on her. It's going to be really hard for her to have lane prio and rotate.
Yeah, and it's not going to be a lane that she can really trade with either. Like, Garen's just going to sit back, heal up any, like, extended trades. So.
Yeah, if she ever ease in, she should get silenced and spun on. And then I believe stream is still on the draft. There we go.
Sorry about that, everyone. I'm doing 2 jobs right now. Should be good to go, though.
It's okay, we forgive you this time.
So, yeah, we got about 12 seconds here in the loadout, and then about a 3-minute delay.
Alrighty.
I gotta come up with a new filler topic this season. It's kind of like pizza topics last season. We did Pokemon the season before. Chat, that should be our topic. Give us some ideas.
I know I've got some of my roster in the chat. Come on. You've got some ideas for me. I know you do.
Are you a fan of Cheez-Its?
Sure.
What is your favorite flavor?
The normal one, because I can't say I really try them all out.
Favorite flavor of Pop-Tart?
It's been so long. When I was little, I liked the s'mores ones. Yourself?
I am more of a traditional, just kind of fruit one, like the strawberry and the blueberry. Okay. I guess the wild berry's not bad.
Okay. I can't say that I've tried them in the past 10 years, so.
Yeah. Same. It's been a while. I'm trying to think of everything we've talked about. Staff jail. We've talked about Cheez-Its. We've talked about Pop-Tarts.
I see.
Favorite fast food place?
Panera, because it doesn't make me feel gross after I eat it. Yourself?
That is a tough one. I'd probably go with Chick-fil-A. I don't know. I just like the chicken.
Okay. I don't live in a place where Chick-fil-A is easily accessible, so I don't really have an opinion on them.
Yeah, it is very popular here in Florida.
I am in Michigan. It is
When I'm
about...
saying Panera Bread is not a fast food place, you must pick again.
What?
You, Ethan.
I'm not picking again. They have a drive-thru, and I can order it and be done within 5 minutes. That is fast food.
It sounds pretty fast food to me. We'll give it.
Easy. Alright. So, looking at these comps, what do you think? Which one do you feel won in draft?
I still feel like with the kind of like front line that Fried Chicken has, like they have 3 theoretical takes here. Like I just don't know. Chaos has a lot of early game potential, but if they don't get up early game, like 5-6 kills, like I don't see how they're gonna scale into the mid to late game. Like they'd really need the Vayne to pop off top lane.
The big thing for me is that like Lucian's got really good early, Thresh has really good early, Hecarim has really good early, Lucian comes back in, like he stays stable in the mid game, but like he's not like huge late game. Vayne's got a really good late game, but like Kiana's their only like big power spike mid game. And then like the longer the game goes on, the Fried Chicken Esports champions just consistently get stronger. Like Varus' early isn't anything to frown at, nor is his mid, but like late game he could just one shot 4 of the champions on their team.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. Like, I think Chaos has to. I like the changes they've made. That they're thinking, okay, hey, let's try and get some early game potential. Like I thought last game, like the mid lane just was super oppressive. Like they just couldn't do anything in the early game. So I like that they've kind of gone the opposite direction this game. Not doing a pick, kind of doing more of like a, hey, we have a lot of early game power. Let's try and use that. We'll see if that transitions though. Like Kentucky, Fried Chicken. Has really, really good macro, I felt like, last game, so we'll see if that shines through again as well.
Yeah, the big thing for me is that I feel like that Vayne should have been an Ornn, because Ornn can, like, while he may not have the greatest lane matchup versus either of those, they look like they're going really hard for a team fight at this point. And yeah. Ornn kind of covers all their bases of they needed a frontliner, they needed extra engage, they needed something that synergized in the chokes with the Kiana to try and get them towards the wall. Especially blind going into the lane.
Like, Thresh isn't really, like, he's got to get a little tanky, but he's not really a true tank. Same for Karma, he's going to be more of a bruiser. So yeah, the front line is just really not existent.
Yeah. So it's hard after the last game because it feels like the harder comp to pull off is definitely Chaos comp. I feel like they have the potential, but at the same time, it's just going to be how they execute it. And if they let the game go on too long, I don't know that they really have a method unless they have a large advantage. Alright, I am ready when you are.
Alright, 1 second. Alright, gonna count it down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and hit play.
Alright.
I can see your weakness. It is just, well, all of it.
Alright, it does look like Chaos might be trying to catch out and invade here. While Fried Chicken Esports look like they're just gonna do a 5-point.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
And then Garen and Mord are going up into the enemy jungle. Are they going to get caught out? Though I do imagine if they catch out Vayne or Kiana, it is just a kill. But Vayne is just going to be super safe about it. They look like they're going to rotate to try to catch her out. But it doesn't look like they're going to get any fish today.
The top is not updating properly right now. I'm just going to disable that. But it is fried chicken up 1-0. This is game 2.
Both junglers start towards the bottom side again. And we will see if they head towards the normal gank pass. The Hecarim on the side of Chaos is going for that Wolves rather than Grump after the blue buff. He did this last game too. It's not the most efficient clear. But we'll see if he also tries to go Raptors or rushes the red too.
Yeah, so for Karm, I think you just by AoE damage, just be able to immediately go clear chickens and do that pretty easily. But yeah, maybe that's that is what he's doing.
It does look like he is just going to do what he did last time, which was blue wolves red, which is a little less efficient than going blue gromp red. But there is going to be first blood going down in the bot lane in the side of Fried Chicken Esports. That hook grabbing the Lucian and Varus following it up very well. Ignite was popped from the Blitzcrank, as well as Flash from the Lucian. Though he did die with heal up.
Yikes. Maybe he had the Ignite ticking down on him, he just didn't think he was going to live through it. Good hook by Kappa though.
That is a good hook by Kappa. That Garen is running Hecarim right out of his own jungle, while Zach is looking to maybe get something off on this Vayne here, but he did just get pushed right out of the gank. That is a good move from Tony. Maybe he's just here to make us all regret questioning the Vayne pick.
A really good response to that gank.
Alright, the Kiana is still a little bit of CS down on this Garen, but not by much, and Vayne is actually bullying the Mord right out of the lane.
Yeah, get up a little bit of next P as well here. Mord does have a pretty big wave crashing here, though. Should catch up.
And with that, he is caught up. And that is the big thing about this lane. So long as they keep it in the middle, if Vayne freezes, she can be a bully. But so long as she's doing what she is right now, which is shoving it back and forth, he has the opportunity to catch up on those leads.
Agreed.
It looks like Zach is pathing for another go at the Vayne, because with the way she's managing the waves right now, it is just leaving her open to that kind of a gank. If either that hook or that knockup hits, she is in trouble. Right now it looks like Hecarim and Kiana might be taking that Garen down, and that is a kill in the mid lane. Vayne did pin the Mord to the wall. Vayne is looking to try and get a kill off of this. Vayne has decided that there's only one way out, and that is through death, but she's going to take Mord with her. Blitzcrank is looking to follow up on the bottom lane, but Lucian is just going to dash away. Both junglers look at each other top and walk away, and we have a game this time, folks. Actually, on the side of Chaos's bot lane, they almost took the Varus down here.
Yeah, another great hook by Kappa there.
I told you he was the better pick than me.
Showing off on the Thresh here early game.
I don't imagine they let him have it a second game if it goes to that, though.
Yeah, like you said earlier, Chaos is showing a little bit of life here in game 2, responding to some of these plays that Fried Chicken is making on the other end of the map, so like to see it.
They heard the doubt in our voice and they just want to prove us wrong, and I am here for it. Garen does look like he's invading on the Hecarim again. Hecarim is kind of proning away from him. Garen's going to try and fight him at his Raptors. I don't think that's a fight Hecarim really wins, though. Kiana isn't really motioning. She's just focusing on her wave.
Yeah, like you're talking about earlier, Vayne's starting to kind of freeze this wave a little bit in the middle of the lane. Mordekaiser, every time he walks up, Vayne's just getting the 3 auto passive off. That's to walk back to the tower.
And Kiana just taking that full trade in. Hecarim is looking to try to get a gank, but he was spotted out.
Yeah, just completely
Right
zoned
now,
out,
Zach is looking to try and pull off a lane gank in the bottom lane while Heckram's trying to come around and flank the Garen. It does look like he is going to catch him out, but I don't know that they can pull a kill off this time. Garen turns it around and takes the Heckram out.
Yeah,
that is Ignite and ult blown.
Yeah, you're level 4. I don't know you take that gank there. I think you just kind of try and get some XP from your jungle. Most of your camps on the blue side are up.
That gank works out if your jungler, if Kiana could land her ultimate off of that, which she was in a position, and I don't know why she didn't throw it. She might not have had it at the time, I wasn't thinking but Zach is going to get a successful gank off here in the bottom lane. In contrast, they are going to blow all their subs. Kiana's going to come in with an ult, and she's going to take out this Varus. Thresh is going to go to show up. They're going to look to pick off the Blitzcrank at the end of this. They're going to look to just turn it all around. Garen's coming down, but so is Heckram. And we're going to try and get this fight cleaned up. And Garen looks like he's going to turn that around. Heckram's going to pick off the support. Thresh is going to 1v1 the Zach. Garen's going to 1v1 the Kiana. And Heckram's going to try and catch this Blitzcrank, but he's just going to run from him. And Heckram does end up getting the Blitzcrank at the end of this. Zach has to flash to try and get the Thresh. Thresh hooks the Scuttle Crab and just gets out. See, folks, this is why we keep Kappa on the Shotcaster deck and not in the game, because he just pulls these plays off that you would never expect. Never let him lie to you and say he's washed up and rusty. Support is his true calling.
Showing it off right now. I don't know how I'm top line, but Vayne is below half health here. Had all that action there, bottom to mid lane. Dragon's gonna get started up here.
And there is a little bit of dialogue going on in our all chat here. On the topic of favorite fast food places, Earl King wants to know everybody's favorite KFC item. That dragon is going to get picked up on the side of Fried Chicken Esports. And Vayne and Mord are still just having a farm fest here. Vayne might just get caught in this ultimate here. Oh, if Mord had just ripped the band-aid off and done the ultimate, he would have gotten a free kill there.
Yeah, looking at the gold real quick, Kiana is down about 25 CS, but she does have the extra kill over on Garen, so there's not too much of a difference there. Top lane is also even, jungle slight edge to heck harm, not much.
Garen actually has about a 200 gold lead on Kiana out here, it looks like. Heckram is going to gank the bottom, Lucian's going to blow ult to the Varus, and then they're going to burst down this Blitzcrank, and then they're going to look to see if they could grab this Varus. But Zach is going to come in and interrupt those plans. Will Varus go down? Is Lucian going to go down? It looks like Varus is going to go down. Heckram's going to die for his sins. Thresh is going to die. And then Zach Pass is going to go. Can Lucian burst him down before all the blobs meet again? It does look like the answer is no, and Zach is just going to walk out.
Ouch.
That is a 2 for 2 on the side of Chaos to Fried Chicken Esports. And it really is just them trying to claw for an advantage here. On the bright side, most of their gold is on the Zach at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, it's kind of just a trade for both teams. Looked really promising there early for Chaos, but yeah, Fried Chicken was able to get a few kills on the back end.
So they're really going to want to try to put that shutdown gold on that Zach on either that Vayne or that Lucian, in my opinion, because Kiana at a certain point is just going to become her ultimate. There's not really anybody outside of Varus for her to assassinate, and she basically can do that after an item. Kiana looks like she's actually going to be rushing Black Cleaver here, which is interesting. Not what you generally associate with her.
Yeah, I don't play much Kiana mid. I'm not sure what the correct build path is. I thought it used to be some sort of lethality item, or you went like early, what is it, the Tiamat?
Some of the higher low one tricks go to Tiamat. Usually it's just lethality that they go for, so they go for their Dirk, and then they'd either go for like a Duskblade or like a Ghostblade. A lot of them had been going for Umbral Glaive last time I was abused by having Tuggles in my mid lane is that. And then Akram looks like he's going for a flank on that. He has to ult to get out when caught by the Zac, and they're just going to walk away from it. They are blowing an important ult. Garen is lane ganking the bottom lane here, and Kappa's just going to get beat up in this bottom lane while Lucian just walks away with his life.
Yeah, that
They're
might
gonna get
be there.
Lucian's gonna blow ultimate to keep them from getting more than one plate here in the bottom lane. Vayne is gonna keep doing trades, and it does look like Vayne and Hecarim are gonna try and force something on this Zac. Hecarim seems a bit hesitant, but Vayne is confidently going for it. Vayne is gonna try and secure herself some shutdown gold, but Mord does show up, and Mord actually ults the Hecarim, not the Vayne. Vayne gets the shutdown on the Zac, and she looks to try and take this fight with the Mordekaiser. Once she pins him to the wall, is that a fight she can take with Kiana here? I think it is. Kiana misses her Q, but Vayne picks up the kill.
Garen's here as well. Vayne does
Kiana,
have red,
Kiana all and ping onto the Garen. Kiana just kind of left the Garen for high or left the Vayne for high and dry here, but then goes back in after the fact. That felt really uncoordinated on the side of Chaos. If they had both been there at the start.
I think she had no mana and she went for the plant to try and get some mana as what happened there.
Oh, okay. I feel like even if she was there for auto attacks, or just trying to take some pressure off. Bot lane looks like they're going to clear some vision, try and set up for Dragon here. Both junglers are prone to that quadrant. Kiana is still topside, not off her reset yet, though. Vayne did just spend a lot of gold. She finished her boots. She's got both half items completed for Bork, and looks like she's not far off from it. Mord has his arm guard done. Garen looks like he's going for that Triforce build. Varus does have his full Umbral Glaive done. It looks like they're going to catch the Zac out in the bottom lane here. Blitzcrank's going to grab Hecarim. Thresher's going to grab Zac. Hecarim's going to get blown up before Zac does. Garen's going to show up and take down the Lucian, and then the Thresh is going to get caught out. Mord shows up down there, and they're just going to take this Dragon for free. 3 for 1 on the side of Fried Chicken Esports, plus a Dragon, and then Garen's going to pressure some plates off mid, while Kiana looks to maybe salvage something, but if she gets hit with that Blitz hook / knockup, it's all over for her.
Just get hooked up here.
And that was all of the CC. She might make it out. Hecarim's going to come in. Blow Varus flash here. Kiana has to look to help him or he's just going to get shot, but she's going to get got right there. The Mord's going to Q her and Garen's going to follow it up. They're just going to juggle this horse until it dies. He's going to ignore the Thresh Lantern. He gets out. They get a kill on the Mordekaiser. Kiana looks to get a kill on this Varus.
Wow.
And they're just going to watch Blitzcrank recall in the Dragon Pit. Alright, Blitzcrank Flash is blown, and they're going to walk out with having picked up some kills to even out the kills, but still down a Dragon. But Vayne is going to take top tower while this is all going on.
Hey, in the end, that's pretty good for Kaz. Like, they did give up the Dragon, but they got the tower top lane. Like you said, they got 2 kills out of that. I don't believe anyone died. They kind of lives with the sliver.
If I might, that is not only pretty good for Chaos, but they are 1,000 gold up on Fried Chicken Esports right now. Not a huge lead, but not what we were expecting coming into this game too.
Much different game too, for sure. Agreed.
Garen has taken the tower mid, but it looks like they're going to try and get it with this Kiana and this Hecarim. Zac is going to show in and try to interrupt this fight. They're going to take the Hecarim down. Kiana is going to try and say something about it, but she's just going to get out with her life. They don't even want to try and do it. Blitzcrank has something to say about that. He's going to take her and just get her deleted.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, on the side of items, Kiana finished Black Cleaver and then went right into a last Whisper, actually. They've got 2 Borks in the sense of Lucian and Vayne. Vayne also has that recurve bow up there, and then Varus is already with his Lucidity Boots and Umbral Glaive. He has his Dirk, and then they've got a Bramble Vest with Zac. So it looks like they might It doesn't look like they're going to make a play for that Herald off the bat here.
Yeah, I think Kiana's going for more like a tank buster build, it looks like.
She's definitely looking to cut through.
Yeah. She's not really playing like a lot of auto attacks, so it's just more like weaving in spells. So, but we'll see how this goes later on in the game.
She might just be trying to get more of that Grievous on there for the eventuality of Warmogs and then Garen passive. Vayne and Hecarim are playing a risky game. Hecarim gets caught out and instantly chunked. Hecarim tries to ult over the wall but doesn't quite get there and gets caught out. But Kiana and Thresh are going to get caught out here too. Vayne's going to try and follow up that Kiana ult, but it might just be her death on it. Zach's not quite going to get her there, but all 5 of them are just going to take this Herald. Vayne's going to try and pepper in some damage while Lucian pushes bottom. Lucian is actually going to back off and look to reset bottom with vision of all 5 members on the Rift Herald right here. Vayne is living that risky life if Blitzcrank hits her. She's got the fancy feet though.
That's an interesting call by Lucian. He's already not there for the team fight. Like, the fight's over. You see them all in Rift. Like you said, like, he's still have the potential to be pushing bottom even currently. Like, they're just now backing off. But yeah, that's an interesting call there.
Yeah, he definitely should have taken some damage off that tier 2 tower.
Yeah, I think for like Chaos, like, that's where the disconnect is a little bit. Like, they have this comp that's really good in the mid game right now. I feel like Lucian's in a decent spot. Like, should be able to contribute a lot in team fights, and they're just not using it. I don't know what the call is there.
It's not really grouping. So the other interesting thing we need to point out, and this was brought to my attention by Chet, is Hecarim looks like he's going for an IE.
I have no idea. I mean, I think at least the last time I played the Hecarim, his biggest power spike is Trinity Force, but maybe I'm wrong on that now.
His power spike is Triforce. And if you're not going Triforce because you're so behind, you just kind of get thick. IE would be interesting here. Maybe they're for separate things. Zach straight up completed his Thornmail. Hecarim and Thresh are just going to get deleted off this fight right as Dragon spawns. Kiana's going to go in, but I'm not sure she comes back out after this. No. She tried to ult, but she just ulted nothing. Lucian goes in for a follow-up, and they're just walking in for the slaughter. Vayne's still out here fighting Mord, but it almost feels like the world's on her shoulders right now.
Yeah, they're not able to win these team fights, unfortunately, now. Fried Chicken's kind of just exerting their dominance in team fights.
Yeah, they really have to play around that Kiana ult with the Vayne and Lucian, like, shredding them down. But you never seem to have the 3 of them all in the same team fight.
See Chaos, just all 5 of them group. Like, I feel like they just would win these fights if all 5 of them were able to group and get some of these objectives, but they're just losing the objectives and now losing kills on top of it.
Yeah, and on that topic, it looks like they're going to 3-man this Vayne. Blitzcrank is going to flash and whip the hook all together. Vayne might go down, but she tried to take Blitz with her, but it just isn't going to happen. She's going to die, and they're not really going to get anything off the map for that. Thresh is looking to make an escape off a neutral monster once again, but it looks like Fried Chicken Esports might just take Baron with the strongest member of the enemy team dead.
That's a sub-20 Baron. This is pretty gutsy, but they do have a pretty sizable lead now.
And just looking at gold really quick, while Vayne has the most gold on their team, Garen has a 2,000 gold lead on that alone, while their team is now back from that 1,000 gold deficit to almost a 5,000 gold lead.
Kiana doesn't even get a chance to ult there, just completely CC locked.
And then Blitzcrank and Garen just take Hecarim right out of the fight. Lucian's going to try and pepper it down with his ult, but he's only going to leash it for them. Thresh tried to make the save with it, but it looks like Blitzcrank is going to pull him in, and Zach is going to take the Lucian. Vayne might have something to say about the Zach, but here comes his team. He's going to take the Blast Cone out, and they're just going to walk away, having taken the 2 members and the Baron.
Yeah, and this Garen is full damage, just with Trinity Red and Static.
And there's still a Rift Herald on the map that's going to go towards top tower here.
Yeah, a little parting gift spawns the Rift Herald as he backs.
Not quite going to take it, but it is going to give them an objective to rotate to. Give me 1 moment. I have to mute myself for a second.
No problem. So yeah, the gold lead has blossomed to about 6k here. Mid lane, Kiana's still trying to get something done. Uses ult, uses ignite. Zach is here. Looks like Kiana's just gonna walk away from that.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
Sorry for that delay.
Cool.
And I got back just in time to see that Kiana eviscerated out of existence, and Vayne just walk away from the Mord there. Mord ulted, but he wasn't quite sure that was a fight. Alright then. They're gonna grab the Thresh underneath. Thresh is gonna grab the Zac, but I'm not quite sure that's a bait he wants.
Yeah. Zac is got a bit of health now.
Red team's turret has been destroyed.
He has a Thornmail, and he's got all that health.
It's really a race to see if Ekram is gonna finish the IE here for this game. Oh, he did. He finished it. He has IE.
Hekram with the Infinity Edge build. I don't really have words for that. Lucian looks like he's working on his Black Cleaver at the moment while they're just diving the tower here. The problem that we stated early on is coming through in the sense that there's really no front line to just keep them from walking on them once they had a lead. And it looks like this series might just end right here, going in favor of Fried Chicken Esports 2-0. As Kiana pointed out, they do have 10 more kills than the last time, so they have improved.
That was definitely an improvement. Like I said, I like the early game. I felt like it was about like 15 minutes in the game. They kind of just like macro-wise, they didn't know exactly what to do. Like Fried Chicken just sort of started like going for these objectives with more members on their team, and then there's like the one member Lucian in the bot lane just completely backed off, and he could have at least got a tower or something there. And then another fight where Vayne's in the top lane pushing. They just didn't have like the tools at that time where I felt like if they just stayed cohesive and just kind of grouped, they had a better chance of winning the game. But regardless, it was a much better showing than game one.
It was definitely a much better showing, and that is going to close out our games here. But who would you pick for your MVP? And it can't be Kappa.
Oh man, there goes my number one candidate. I personally, I think like Earl King played really well both games.
I would agree.
That would be my vote, Earl King.
Okay, well then let's go see if we can grab our MVP and bring him up here for a quick interview. I will drop down and do that right now.
Hello.
Hello, welcome. How are you doing tonight? How are you feeling after those two games?
Pretty good. Like, the games were pretty easy, I guess. So, I think it went well.
Yeah, I feel like game one, you guys definitely had a strategy. We're like, hey, we're gonna come into this game. Their mid laner is their player that's kind of built to carry their team, and we're just gonna make it so she can't play League of Legends at all that game. I thought you executed that really well. But like the last game, they kind of like they built a better early game comp, and then they had a little bit of success early game, but the mid game, you guys just immediately were able to clean up the objectives and really get the team fight wins.
Yeah, first game just went really well because I think all three lanes just smashed top and bottom, just solo killed their opponents kind of over and over. So that was pretty great. And second game, like I think we were kind of after the first game, it was kind of hard to get serious again for the second game. We were fucking around a bit too much at the start, and then we realized that the game was kind of going a bit bad. So once we were able to refocus, it went well.
Yeah, I feel like you guys have how much have you guys been practicing? Like, you guys saw your macro looked like it was really, really clean.
I don't know. We're just friends that play together. We like play Clash and stuff. But yeah.
That at least gives you guys some synergy going into this, though, too.
Yeah.
So I do have one question for you, though.
Okay.
Was the Garen the original pick for mid lane, or did you guys swap after you saw the top lane pick?
Oh, no, yeah, that was 100% the original counter pick to Kiana.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought the comp was a really good game too. And it was really, really good game one as well. So, that was two clean games for you guys. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
And that is going to do it here for week one, for Olympian. We'll be back tomorrow night, 8:00 Eastern, again for week one of Gladiator League. Have a good night, everyone.